Hey kids, welcome to Wiles Orchard in Marionville, Missouri. We're about 35 minutes outside of Springfield, and we're going to show you how apples are picked and sorted and sold to the public on this orchard. This orchard's been around a lot of years. Right there's my father. The original trees on this orchard were planted in 1921. It's 75 years ago. And Dad, the guy with his back to us, bought the place in 1940, which that's, 56 years ago. He's been doing this a long time. He's there with another guy that owns an apple orchard. They're looking over some of the crop. We're going to take you out to the orchard and show you how the apples are picked and bring them back in here and sort them and sell them. We're going to get a bin. This is what we pick our apples in, these apple bins here. And we're going to go out and pick some apples and bring them in and show you how they're sorted. My name is Mike Wiles, and Carmen and I will be your narrators. Let's go to the orchard. We got the tractor started and an empty bin ready to be filled with apples. And off to the orchard we go. And I'm just going to run up here and jump on the tractor and ride to the orchard with Carmen and the girls. Go. This is the apple orchard. Those are our young trees right there. And we're coming up on the apples we're going to pick. Carmen is our driver. Say hi, Carmen. Hi. First rows here are red apples. They're Red Delicious. And then we're going to pick some yellow apples, which are the Golden Delicious. It's kind of bumpy back here, and she stopped. Okay, what we're going to show you now is how we pick apples in these, what we call picking sacks, and how they work. And what this is basically a bag that you put apples in. And you put these over your shoulder like so. And then this is a big tube here, see? You see it's open on the bottom. And we take these strings, and we pull it up here and put these strings in these hooks right here, and that makes kind of a sack. And then we go pick apples and put them in here. When we're done, take these strings off, let the apples down in the box. Now we're going to show you some professional apple pickers that are filling these boxes here. And then we'll take the apples into the apple shed and we'll sort them and we'll sell them. This is Don, our professional apple picker. He's getting his ladder set to go up the tree. Don't fall.
That's the thing of this here, you really have to be careful.
This sack's about full, and I think that'll be enough to fill up our bin. See, we just open up the bottom and let the apples out. Yeah, our bin's full. There's 17 bushels of apples in there. Time to go into the apple sorting shed.
Apple bin on the front and an apple bin on the back. This is a forklift that we use to move our bins around the shed. Mike's going to put them in the cooler, the big cooler right now. He's going to stack them up too high. And this little old forklift will be able to do a great job of lifting all that weight. go see the cooler. Pretty cool in here. These are all our bins of apples that we've picked, and we've saved them to sell. We had to pick them when they were ripe in the orchard, and then we keep them in this cool place so that we can sell them when the customers want them. We're going to load the apple bin that we want to sell here on the to customers on our bin dump. And it is time to sort the apples. We take out the best ones we can to sell to our customers. We have some that have hail marks and worms that like to eat them and things that we sort out of those. And also we have some really, really rotten ones that are fed to deer. We don't waste any apples at this orchard. There's something done with all of them.
This bin on what we call a bin dump, and what we're going to do, we're going to sandwich that bin in with a hydraulic system here, and we're going to lift it up and tip all those 17 bushel out. We're real gentle with the apples, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First, we turn the machine on. Now you can see the bin is coming up. It's going to be pressed in there where it won't go anywhere. Tip it on up. Now we've got to be real gentle when we open this trap door. And out comes apples. These red apples are called wine sap. They're a winter apple. They're real sour. The leaves fall out through these little holes right here. And we put them back on the land where they decompose. The apples come down to this little belt. I'm going to turn the machine on now. This is like a car wash for apples. See how the water comes down? And these are brushes here that roll them over and over and brush all sides of them. Now I'm going to turn it on so you can see. This brush washes the dust off of the apples. Any dirt there might be on them. So they're good and clean when people take them home. This is coming out of the brush. The apples roll out of the brush and they roll over and over on these sponges. That tries to dry them off. They will move on over this belt. At this belt, the smaller apples will fall out automatically. And that's what we make the apple cider out of.
All right, this is the tray the apples, the smallest apples come down into. We'll see some come out, see? They fall through the holes and come out into this, onto this table. And then you can see Mike, he's sorting the apples and taking out the ones that have any bad spots, any worms. The other side now, so we can see Mike what he's doing a little better.
That is a hail mark right there. When a hailstorm comes in a young orchard, it hits these places on an apple and they quit growing. The rest of the apple grows around it. So the apple is damaged. It doesn't taste any different, but it's got a big bad spot on the side of it. We had a hailstorm this year.
In the springtime.
In the springtime, it hurt a lot of the apples. Now from here, you can see the apples go to another belt and small ones fall out there. We sell those. Some people don't like big apples, and they'll buy these smaller apples. And now we're about full. We come around here to the final grading table. We'll look at the apples one more time. And then over here is where we open a chute and very gently let the good apples down into an apple box. Taking out any bad ones.
What are the bad ones used for, Mike?
Well, we sell the bad ones at a lesser price. Some of these spots that you see on the bad ones are, like I said, just hail marks that can be cut out.
And
so,
some people use them to make apple butter and applesauce
that's
and,
right. That
and
right
pies.
There, cut that little piece out right there, and that's a good apple.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good apple.
That's a bad one right there.
Yes.
We'll put it right over here.
And you have to put it in.
No, you got to put all the apples in gently, always gently.
And some of them, the small ones, we use for cider.
That's right.
To make cider. And we'll show you how that's done here in a little while.
Here's the final result. Our #1 quality Missouri-grown apples. Well, we said earlier we'd show you how apple cider is made, and it's made out of these smaller apples right here. And we grind that up into apple cider. Now let's go around to the cider room and we'll show you how that works. Whoa! Those crates there. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's try that again. Now we'll come around here to the cider press where they're making apple cider. Okay, we're almost ready to press it. We spread the plumage out. And all that is right there is ground up apples. You can see the seeds in there. The seeds and any stems or anything like that go right on in. Dad, you want to tell them how you got started making apple cider?
Really? It's a hailstorm.
One year we had a hailstorm, and it had to have something to do with the apples because hail's really hard on apples. We had a bunch of damaged apples, but there wasn't anything wrong with them. They just didn't look very good, so they ground them up into apple cider, and that was the start of it. Now he's pulling out a rope there. You see the handle going around. He'll hook that onto this little eye hook right here. Then they'll pull this down. And that hydraulic press will put about a ton of weight on that, and that'll mash that just as flat as it can be. This is the stuff over here, after you press the cider, that is left. We feed that to the cows, and they love it. Now here we go. Down comes the hydraulic press. It doesn't work too fast. can see the cider starting to come out. We'll get around the front. Okay, you can see the cider dripping out and going down this stainless steel hopper into this plastic tank down here. How many gallons of cider do you get from a bushel of apples, Dad?
About 3.5.
That's my father again, who supervises the cider making process here. Okay, in a second we'll watch him pump it into the cooler. Here's the switch. You'll see the cider go up this hose from this pump right here, out the tank, through the pump, through the hose. It goes over the door. And then the final step in the process is where the apple cider is bottled and sold.
As we said earlier, we feed our apple plumage from the cider to the cows, and that's what Mike's doing right now. He's taking the plumage, that's all the seeds and the skin and the pulp that has all the juice squeezed out of it. He's going to feed that to the cows right now, and the cows are just waiting patiently, and we'll let them come through the gate when he has all that on the ground. They would probably try to trample him if they were out right now.
Mom, there's Central watching me.
Here they come. They love the taste of that. It's sweet. And this is the conclusion of the Wiles Orchard Tour. Hope you all had fun.
Grandma, Daddy.
I don't know what you got wrong.